Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 15th. It is 6:23 right now. The market opening up in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, a few more things here. Perfect. Looks like we're good to go. So let me finish setting this up real quick and we should be solid. That link's getting loaded. There we go. All right, perfect. Looks like people are on their way in. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 15th. It is 6:25 right now. We have market opening up in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. I don't want to go super far out because I'm not expecting volatility to be that crazy like it was last week. So 2 hour. Now to the 1 hour. 30 minute. 15 minute. 10 minute. And down to the down to the 1 minute over here. All right, guys, looks like we're good to go. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 15th. It is 6:28 right now. Market liquidity over here. This level's getting knocked out. Looks like the breakout for today may be a buy. Depends if this candle closes with a buy signal. So if this candle closes with a buy signal, the breakout for today would be a buy. If it doesn't close with a buy signal, then it's going to be a sell. So this candle is closing in about 11 seconds. And we'll know the direction for the breakout once that has closed. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Christian. Morning, Stephen, Kyle, Lila, Maria. Morning, guys. Morning, Doug. All right, guys. So looks like the breakout for today is going to be a sell, guys. The buy signal never closed right there. So once market opens up in the next, let's see, like 40 seconds or so, breakout for today is looking like a possible buy entry, sell entry. Sorry, guys, sell entry for the breakout. The ATR is pretty low right now. It's currently at 16 ATR, so it looks like we're getting back to normal market conditions. Right now, I currently have my TP stop loss set to 60, but we'll see what happens here when the market opens up in a few. Looking over here at CNBC, no updates right now yet. Looking at the news for today, there was news at 5:30. It was the New York Empire State Manufacturing Index, and that's pretty much all that we have for today. So I'll mark that up in a few, which is going to be, let's see, 5:30. Right there. So there's news price right there. And then I'll mark up opening price. All right here. It looks like price is trying to grab liquidity up there, and it's probably gonna maybe swing back down. Yeah, it looks like price is grabbing liquidity up here. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I'll leave the farther level open right there. And we'll kind of see what ends up happening from right here. So, all right, price is coming down right there. Breakout is currently running in profit. I'll mark up the breakout here for you guys. All right, so the breakout almost hit TP right there. It's running down in profit. We'll come back and take a look at that in a few. Let's take a look at the overall trend for today. So right here on the 4-hour time frame, price is currently bullish. It's above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. The 1-hour price is bullish as well. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling to the upside. Same with the 30-minute over here. So looking at the higher time frames, it is bullish with regard to the trend. Looking over here on the lower time frames, the 10-minute is sort of neutral. The 5-minute here is bullish, neutral, and the 1-minute over here is bullish. So it's a little mixed across the board with regard to direction of overall trend. It's looking like it's trying to be bullish, but it's not necessarily sitting up there consistently. The breakout's almost at its full TP right there. If you guys want to move your stop loss and profit, feel free. If you feel comfortable with whatever profit you made, feel free. We'll continue looking around for any possible opportunities for entry. I'm just looking to see where the ATR is currently sitting right now. The ATR is still currently at 27, so it looks pretty consistent. The thing with this over here is the candles are still kind of big, so I might have to change the nice. So Steven reached his TP. Nice work, Steven. So Steven hit his breakout right there, full TP. He's done with that. And let's see what else we've got over here. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm going to adjust the ATR right now currently to 7. Just for right now, because the thing is we have like these really big candles within these current candles right here compared to the old ones. So I'm setting it to 7 right now so you can see where the ATR is currently at. Because right now it's definitely not at 30. Obviously it's higher. We have these candles right here, which are pretty big, like basically from open. So from 629 up until open, these candles over here are pretty big. So I'm going to leave this at where it's currently set right now. And then I'll make the adjustments a little later back to 14 once we have 14 like full-size candles that are out. So closer to like, let's see, I'm going to measure from right here. I'm gonna measure it from 629. All right, basically at 643, I'll adjust the settings back to 14. Because I want to have a realistic idea of like what the ATR is currently at. So I was like, there's no way it's gonna be 30 with these huge candles right here, which doesn't really matter too much because we're kind of waiting for the market here to stabilize a little bit. Steven said, Sean, can you make a study guide for K2 by Google Docs? Or I'll just talk to Steven personally. I mean, there's a whole course, but Steven wants a study guide on Google Docs, which is fine. I can help him with that. Hey, what's up, Craig? Sam, morning, guys. All right, so we got some crazy movement right here. I mean, we're gonna wait a little bit for the market here to kind of stabilize a bit. So like I said, I'm gonna wait until about probably closer to 7 o'clock. Because once we get to 7 o'clock, we'll be able to see how these candles are moving. So you can see these previous candles are very, very small, right? They're like under 30 points. And then you get to these opening candles and it gets pretty crazy right here for the first candles. This is like somewhat normal, right? Like when stuff like this happens, this is somewhat normal for the first couple of minutes of market open, and then it starts to kind of fade off and it starts to move normally after like the first 10 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to wait a little bit for this here to smoothen out. And once it smoothens out, I'll start looking for some possible opportunities for entry. I think there was an NPSV2 right here that you mentioned, Tarek. This candle was huge though, so I don't think I would have taken that one. But this candle was an 80-point candle. I think if you set your TP stop loss to like even 60, um, it would be it'd be a big risk. So I wouldn't have taken that one right there specifically because it was just so big. And it looks like it didn't even play out anyways. Yeah, the candle there is just too large, 80-point candle. That's why like for me, I'm gonna wait for here to the market to kind of stabilize a little bit. Right now the ETR is at 58. So I'm basically gonna look for like average candles of about 60 points. 60 points or smaller. I don't want to see these big, big candles come up because I think the initial opening candle or the pre-market candle, so this 629 candle right here was about like 55 points. The one next to it right here was about 75 points. The one next to it was a little bit smaller. The one over here was 80 points. And this one right here was 108 points. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit until this here, starts to kind of give me an idea of like what the candles are looking like. Probably another 10 minutes or so. Hey, Brock, morning. So I'm still using half contract size right now, guys. I'm not really looking to risk too much at the moment, so I'm taking about a 4 contract on pretty much majority of my accounts, just to be able to take 2 trades for the day. So we'll take a look. So here are Steven's profits for the day on that breakout. Steven locked in 554. So nice work right there, Steven, on catching that breakout for the day. So the thing with Steven is he only takes the breakout. So his profits are fluctuating up and down throughout the week, but typically it'll end up in profit by the end of the month usually. One thing I wanted to remind you guys, there's currently a promo going on until April 31st, guys, or 30th. So Apex is having an 80% off flash sale from now until April 30th. It's only for accounts 150 and up to 300K. So basically 150K and up. The smaller accounts are not on promo right now, but the bigger accounts are. So if you're looking to stack up accounts, the 150K is a good middle point. I wouldn't really recommend the 300K until you're really, really consistent. Because it's so I did the math. I was trying to figure out because I know people are going to ask. So if you're trying to pass a 300K account, you need to have about 9 wins, like 9 back-to-back wins or 9 net wins. So it's going to take you a while to pass. If you're doing the 150K account, you can do that within 6 wins. So here's the difference. If you're doing a 50K account, you need 5 wins to pass. If you're doing a 150K account, you need 6 trades to pass. And then with a 300K, you need 9 wins to pass. So it's a big difference. It's a big jump between the 50K and the 150K. It's not a huge difference, but when you go from the 50K to the 300K, it's a big difference because you go from only needing 5 wins to 9 wins. And those are net wins, so not including losses. So, or, including losses, but overall you have to have like 9, basically you have to have a win streak of like 9 wins to, not really win streak, but overall to get that pass. So I don't recommend the 300K to anybody else, unless like you're super, super confident. The 150K is doable. It's just one more win past the 50K. All right, guys, we got price pushing up. There's no entries here right now. Price is pretty much pushing past these areas of liquidity. Whenever price gets to these next levels of liquidity, I'm just gonna clean up the ones before it. The reason why I leave one level here is because I try to see for those fake outs, basically liquidity grabs, and then come back down. So that when price reaches this upper one, which it just did, I'll delete this one, and I'll look for a possible liquidity grab right there, and then it come back down, right? So whenever price gets to these lines up here, I'm looking for one of 2 things to happen. I'm either looking for price to break above and continue climbing up higher, or I'm looking for price to come up a little bit and then fake out, come back down. Right? That's usually what happens when price gets to these levels right here. This is also a session, so I can delete that because we already have a line there. So basically, once price is at this area, you can expect one of 2 things to happen, or maybe 3 things. The third thing is price is either sits right here, because that's usually what happens when it gets to the sessions. The second thing is price breaks above it and climbs up to the next level. Or the third thing, price pushes up a little bit, fakes out, and comes back down. Right? There's usually 3 patterns that happens right here. Just think of that like in any scenario. Basically, whenever price gets to a certain area, think of it in 3 different scenarios. Price will either push above, fake out and come back below, or consolidate around that area. There's no entries here right now. So like what I'm basically going to be looking for here is I'm going to be looking for a possible sell signal to come up and then possibly come down, look for that sell back to open. Or I'll look for that sell signal to come up here, temporary retracement, retest this area, and then come this way. Got a big order that just came in. Let me check my time and sales. 100 contracts sell at 40,894. So a big contract right here came in at 48.94. I'm assuming. Okay. Gonna put a line right there. So there's a big sell contract that got filled right here. It's about 100 contracts. I'm looking at the time and sales to kind of see that come in. So with that said, what I would say is look for price to either close below here. If price closes below this point, then I think price is going to come back down further and it's going to drop down to opening price right here. So I'm just going to have a line there so that you guys can kind of see. I just look at time and sales to see like whenever the big players come in and they put in some big orders. It's not necessary, but it's good to see where they got in from. See how far is it pushed from here up. It's about like 100 points. Let's see, the ATR is currently at 51 right now. So let me go and change it back to 14. Measure these. All right, so you guys can see right here that ATR is starting to kind of balance out a little bit, right? So it's starting to balance out. Let's see, I'll measure from here. Yeah. So it looks like I might be using about a 50-50 TP stop loss. We'll see. Not yet. I haven't really decided on it yet, but it's going to be around like 50-50, maybe even more. The ATR is set at like about 43. Let's see, target said I see it revisiting highs, maybe a higher once it breaks the zone. Yeah, I could probably see that too. The green line right there, right, Tarek? So that's why I'm saying like this area right here, there's a big sell order that came in. So what I would look for here is I would look for price to, if it closes below this point, I think it's going to come back down because I think what's going to happen here is a lot of sellers they're going to jump onto that position. So what I would look for is for price to close below this point. And then maybe look for an MPSV2 from the, there you go. So we have a sell signal penny right there. That's perfect. This is going to start setting up for MPSV2 for a sell. Let's see, looking over here at the market profile, there's no rejections off the top end. Looking over here at the 30-minute time frame, we don't have any rejections off the top end. Looking at the 1 hour, we don't have any rejections up here yet. So we don't really have confluences from the top end right now for a sell. We have one right here that's possibly setting up on the current candle on the clean chart. We have price also rejecting off the resistance zone right here. There's not enough confluences. So even if we get a sell entry here, probably not going to be one that I'm looking to take. Yeah, there's just not enough confluences here. So I'll look to see if the sell entry does possibly come up, but I'm not really looking to take anything here for a sell, at least not yet. Ideally, you want this to close below this area. I do want the sell signal though. So even though I'm not looking to take the sell, I want the sell signal to come up so we can catch the flip back to the upside. So I do want the sell signal to come up so that if the sell signal does come up, I'll look for price to swing back up, and then I'll look for possible buys. We just want the signal to come up so that we can have the retracement. All right, so you can see here the candles have been trying to close for a sell for the past 3 candles. We had a sell signal here that was pending, didn't close. Sell signal here that was pending, didn't close. Another one right here. Yeah, juice in the market is effing wild nowadays. Yeah, no, it is. Well, it was wild last week, and it's still wild on open. But once the market kind of like opens up and it starts to move around a bit, it starts to go kind of normal. So I think this right here is for the most part normal. But yeah, the first 10 minutes or 20 minutes on open, it is pretty wild. Last week, of course, was like super wild, like the wildest anyone has ever seen. But it's looking pretty solid right now. It's looking solid like in a way that market is moving a little more, consistent in a sense. Yeah, target ATR at 50 looks nice. I agree. I think now that we have this specific number down here, we're kind of for the most part good to go. So let me check my numbers over here. Yeah, so I think for contracts, yeah, I'm already pretty much set at 50. So I'll be good. When I enter the position, my TP stop loss is going to be at 60, but I'm going to make the adjustments to 50 once I'm in the position. Because my contract sizes would be about the same. Yeah, exactly. Targets between 40 and 50. I think this is good because our average ATR on a normal market is 30 anyways. So when we have it over here at 40, 50, this is fine. It's not like and there we go. It's just starting to drop down a little bit. It's down to 40. So it's not like a big difference from like what we're normally used to. It's not like 70, 80, 100, right? When it's at 70, 80, 100, that's where it's like way too big. Right now it's currently at 41, so this is pretty decent. We can work with this. We don't really have any news today, so I'm not really expecting a catalyst to really push price around. The only time I would see anything crazy happen is if Trump says anything. If Trump or the White House reports anything, then that's where, you know, it might screw with the market. But right now, there's nothing reported and there's nothing scheduled, so we don't really have anything to worry about per se. Well, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we don't get anything crazy that just pops up out of nowhere. So I'm looking at my long-term investments. Everything is pretty much not back to normal, but it is recovering, except for Nike. My Nike stock is not going to go anywhere. Um, I'm just gonna hold on to it, I guess. My Nike stock is down 40%, which is all good. I mean, I'm just gonna keep collecting dividends on it. It's not a company that I see is going to go bankrupt. It's just gonna be a cheap stock for a while. Yeah, so I'm glad the market here it's not fully recovered, but you know, obviously, let's go in the higher time frames real quick. Go on the 4 hour. So you can see over here that all of, like this whole dump happened from like last month up until now, and it's slowly making its way back up. So this is from New Year's. Basically, price started coming down, and then now it's starting to swing all the way back up. So we'll see what happens over the next 90-day period once these tariffs are on pause, and we'll see what other updates, you know, Trump has, of course. All right, we got nothing here right now. The ATR is back down to 38. So it looks like we might be going back to like what we talked about before, guys. You know, the average ATR is around 30. We're at 40 right now. Yeah, next to Classic New Year, they get a good end to the year and it dumps, right? They got that Santa rally and it drops all the way back down. It's the same cycle every year, right? It happens at the end of the year, it pushes up, they get all the hype going, people buy in, and then price slumps. And then it pretty much slumps or consolidates or ranges for the rest of the year, and then it goes right back up at the end of the year again. So yeah, you've been around for a while, Nick. You've been here from like almost the beginning, I feel like. So you're familiar with what's been going on. And it's just the same cycle. It's just this year there's a lot more stuff happening because Trump is a different type of president, of course, you know. So we'll see. Anyways, guys, there's no entries for me to take right now. Again, I'm still looking for that sell signal to come up, right? I'm not necessarily looking to take a sell here, but I'm looking for that sell signal to come up so we can get price to come down a little bit and then come back up. But we can't really do anything over here right now because there's nothing here to take. Turn this indicator off. But you guys can see over here, the buyers have been in control since basically since down here. So buyers have been in control, pushing price up. The next target price point is going to be this liquidity and session right there. This is the liquidity plus it's the London high and the New York high. So if price pushes up any higher, that's where I'm targeting price to reach. This area right here. What I would like to see is I'd like to see some sort of retracement, right? Because price has been pushing up for a while. So I want to see some sort of retracement and then possibly come back up. Basically an inverted head and shoulders, right? Like every time I draw these patterns, I don't purposely draw head and shoulders. It just looks like it just comes up because that's how the pattern looks like. Take a look at the overall trend here. Everything's bullish now for the most part. So if you look across the board, the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, everything's pointing towards the upside. So kind of see where this, you know, wherever this ends up going. Let me measure where market opened from. So market opened from right here. Yeah, so the breakout for today hit full TP, guys. If anybody decided to take it, I mean, other than Steven, I think Steven's the main person who takes the breakout. I'm just going to go and take a screenshot of this real quick. I mean, if you wanted to go for 100 points, I don't think 100 points would have hit, but the 50 would have hit for sure. Solid document that. I think that's what Steven wants to do. He wants to document all the breakouts so that he knows what's going on with the entries long term. So all right, yeah. So there goes the breakout right there. There's still no entries for us here. I think we're gonna have to wait until closer to 7 o'clock for this candle here to close. We do have now a rejection from the top end, so the sells might actually be good because we have a confluence here now on the 30-minute. We have nothing here on the 1 minute. Actually, might have something here on the 1 minute now. I draw a line right here. Love that red. All right, so we actually do have some rejections right here. This is an old value high. So a rejection right there off the 1 minute time frame off the top end. We have a rejection right here on the 30-minute. We have a rejection right here on the 1 hour. Volume profile, not so great. Oh, there's just nothing there. I mean, not so great, but there's no rejections there. Rejection right here off the clean chart. And rejection off the resistance here. So we have about like 4 or 5 confluences here. The sell actually might play out to be pretty good. The only problem here, guys, is that we're going to be stuck at the sessions. All right, so even if we get the sell signal right there, the sessions is a red flag, so it's not an area that I really want to be trading in. Preferably, I'd probably want price to push up a little bit higher and then come back down from here. So we have some space to take entry. Because if it comes down where it's currently at right here, you know, if we're using a 40-40 or even a 50-50, it's not going to be possible because we'd have to reach the session down there. Let's see, Glenn's asking me, Sean, do you think 30-30 TP stop loss is good with this ATR? So I think it's okay. I don't think it's a great TP stop loss, but I think it's okay. I think it could work. Because look at the ATR down here. Glenn, it's starting to drop lower, right? So it's not going higher, it's actually going lower. So yeah, the 30-30 could work. I mean, I don't think it's going to be super great because it might be a little too tight. I think it's going to be between 30 and 40, of course. Ideally, I think 40 would probably be the better number. But if you want to do 30, I think 30 could work. There's a big candle right here. So this is probably going to push ATR up a little bit. Candle's about 55 points. So see what happens here next. So we got a V1 kind of setting up right here. Not that it's relevant, but just, you know, this is a reversal pattern and the V1 has disappeared. So it's just relevant because if the V1 comes up here, this could be a possible, like if it's a good candle, it'll probably continue climbing up from there with that confluence. Otherwise, if the sell signal comes up, we may have this push back to the downside. But it's all good. You know, this is really what matters with trading. It's all about the discipline and patience about waiting here. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are getting ideas like they want to chase this for a sell or they want to chase this for a buy. But realistically, there's no setup here. So we're going to use these pieces to start to formulate our setup. But there's just no setup here right now at the very moment. All right, we got a sell signal right here. This is setting up for an MPSV2. Again, like I was saying earlier, guys, I would need this to actually come a little lower. So I would want this to push down a little lower and then maybe retrace down right here. And then that's where I can take my, let me fix this. This is where I can take my MPSV2. If it comes down to here, if it doesn't come down to here and we get an MPSV2 that happens right here at the sessions, that's not going to be one that I'm willing to take because red flags happen right here at the sessions, of course. So if you guys are not familiar with the sessions, mostly the new people, the sessions basically are areas of manipulation. So you can see over here when price got to this point, you don't know where price is going to go once it gets to this point, right? Price looks like it was faking out right here, luring people into the buy side, and then it comes right back down. This is what tends to happen a lot of times with the sessions here. It becomes an area where price, like the actual meat of the movement, is right here down the middle, but it'll push out a little bit to just trap people. So it'll push out a little bit, people will chase this for a buy, and then it comes right back down and it stops them out. It's not really an area that you want to be trading at. I don't trade at any of these horizontal lines. So I don't trade at this purple line. I don't trade at this green line. I don't trade at this purple line. I don't trade at this pink line. And I don't trade at this blue line right here. So basically any lines that go from left to right that are dotted, I don't trade at any of those areas because those tend to be areas of manipulation. So there's an MPSV2 that's setting up right here. This isn't going to be a setup that I'm looking to take, guys. As you guys know, it's just not a good setup for me personally because it's right at the sessions. However, if this candle does close below this black line right here, this will technically be an MPSV2 setup. So if you guys are just practicing to identify setups, this would be a setup right here, but it would be considered a red flag. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I will not be taking it myself. I'll set it at a 40 ATR or a 40 TP stop loss. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not taking it, just marking it up for you guys to follow. Like I said, this is an area of manipulation, so I personally don't feel comfortable trading around this area. If you guys do feel comfortable trading around risky areas, that's why I've marked it up for you guys here. But I'm not in this position. Ideally, I would like it to play out, of course, because you want to see it play out. But if it doesn't play out, you guys can pretty much understand that that's probably because it was at the sessions. So I'm just going to delete this. I want you guys to think I'm in the position. I'll put it back on later to see if it played out, but it's looking here like price is getting manipulated at this purple line. Yeah, Barack said he'll skip it, but he'll consider a late entry. Okay. So Barack's thinking about maybe getting in late, which is fine. I mean, there's confluences there for a sell. So like the sell here could be good. It's just, it's currently at the session, so it doesn't look good to me personally. We do have rejections right here off the top end. We also have rejections on the bottom end as well. Yeah, for me personally, I think the buys here might look better because there's rejections on both sides. Get a rejection right there too. Nothing on the 1 hour. I wouldn't mind for it to come down, hit, and then come right back up. But if a buy entry comes up here for an MPSV2, I'd be more inclined to take the buy versus the sell. I mean, there's still confluences on both sides, so it's just in a tricky area right now because there are rejections right here on the top end. But like I said, because it's at the sessions, that's where price has trouble getting past. So the trade's still technically running right there. We'll follow it, but you guys can see here, this is a clear example of why I don't trade at the sessions. Like, see, if I was in this position right here, I'd be super stressed out because I'm like, damn, I should have just avoided it because it was at the sessions right there. And see, Tarek said looking for buys here, like you said, if sells want to push price lower first, yeah, I'm okay with it pushing price lower first and then coming back up. Because the thing is, we'll have these confluences regardless, right? So even if price comes down for a little bit, if it comes right back up, we'll have these confluences on the bottom end. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with wherever price wants to push it. However, if the buys do come up here, I'm good with that too, because we do have the rejections on the bottom side. I just don't want to trade here at the sessions at all. All right, so let's see if this buy signal here closes. I don't know. I might have to adjust my TP stop loss to 40, guys, because I think I think 60s for sure way too far off. Damn, I don't even have the numbers for 40. Let me just do that real quick. It's going to calculate my TP stop loss, whatever it should be. 6. All right, I'll do some math real quick. Um, shoot down on. All right, I'm gonna make some. I need to set up my custom one. So probably using 6 contracts in the 40. Okay. So I just made adjustments. I switched my TP stop loss to 40. I might shift it back up to 50, but right now it's looking like 40 is a okay number to work with. Yeah, I think 40 could be good. All right, we got the buy signal right here. Let's take a look at the confluences now. So again, we have a rejection right here off the value high. So on the 1 minute, we have a bottom rejection right there. On the 30 minute, we have a bottom rejection right there as well off the value high. 1 hour time frame, there's no confluence there. Looking over here at the volume profile, we have a rejection right here off the value high. Looking on the clean chart, we have a rejection right here off the 40,900. And looking over here at the SAR chart, we have rejection right here off the resistance turn support. So we have a possible setup right here for MPSV2 for a buy. Yeah, so unfortunately, the other one over here didn't play out, but there was a lot of reasons for it not to play out, right? Main thing was the sessions right there. And I think also, like Christian was mentioning, it was at the 1 hour zone. So we'll see. But yeah, like we said earlier, this is not a good to say that. So we have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. If the candle closes green, this is an MPSV2 for a buy. Got my TP stop losses set at 40. I'm still using half risk right now. Yeah, I'm using half risk, so I'm not taking the full contract size on this. I'm only taking 6 contracts for this one. I'm only going to take it if it closes green. Of course, it has to for sure close green, and it has to for sure close above this area. So it's got to close green and not too big of a candle, like Tarek mentioned. But it's got to for sure close green. I'm not going to take it if it closes on the line. Not going to take this one here. No setup yet. There's a big contract that came in at about 4,935. Okay. So again, I'm looking for the the candle has to for sure close green, guys. I'm not going to take it where it's on the line. This is kind of where it's been at for this week so far. We've been seeing a lot of entries that kind of close on the line and it gaps at the last second. I'm not looking to take those types of entries, right? I want to for sure know it's going to close above. We got 20 seconds left on this candle. 15 seconds. Got about 10 seconds. All right, I'm gonna get in right here. So let me see where this is set up at. Entry would have happened right there. I mean, it was right at the line. Tricky setup a little bit. It's gonna make a little bit of some adjustments here. So 73. It's gonna drag this down a little bit. Yeah, it was like I said, it's kind of tricky how the setup came up right there because it was right at the line. I'm taking half risk, so it's not really a big deal how this one's gonna play out. I still have another opportunity to try to maybe get in on the next one if that might be the case. Yeah, so half risk on this trade. It's like kind of annoying that like the volatility picks up as soon as I get into a position. It was all dead, and then all of a sudden this big candle comes out of nowhere. But it's all good. Let me take a look at the confluences. So the confluences still line up. I mean, everything here still looks good for a buy here. Let me check this out. 30-minute. Oh yeah, so I think this might have adjusted a little bit. Yeah, because I thought there was a rejection there. Price is back to opening price right there. I'll look for it to hopefully push up. But the confluences didn't line up. Rejection right there. Rejection at the point of control. Nothing on the 1 hour. Price is pushing up in profit right there. Let's see. Volume profile. Price is also rejecting off the point of control right there. So that's good. We got a rejection off the clean whole number right here. 40,900. Price is pushing up right there, almost to its TP. So I'll leave it alone. I'm just going to keep checking the confluences here. So rejection off the clean chart. And I'm looking for price to kind of break past this resistance here. So I mean, this would be nice for a break and retest off the resistance. And then a push up higher from that point. Yeah, so the only problem here that I'm looking at right now is that price is kind of at this value high. And price tends to respect this area, so it might kind of bounce off. And I'm hoping it closes above it, because if it closes above it, even better. And then again, I'm trying to reach that target up there. ETR is currently at 37, so it is a little almost there. Almost at the target, full TP. Nice work, guys. If you guys caught that with me, solid TP right there. Like I said, target fill. The confluences here were solid, right? So like I said, guys, if the confluences are good, don't worry about it too much. Like you might get these like kind of crazy candles that pop up out of nowhere, but as long as your confluences are there, full TP. So nice work right there. And yeah, full TP on that one. The confluences were great. I was looking for that buy there, and I was looking for price to come and hit the target up here as well. There we go at the sessions. Did exactly what we were looking for, right? So when price was kind of bouncing around this area, I mentioned if it was going to push up, it's going to hit this area right there. And that's exactly where price went. Boom, full TP. Let's see. Azik's asking, hello, first time on your stream. Do these indicators work on NQ? Yeah, they work on all assets. So if you want to trade NQ, look, I'll show you real quick. There's NQ. If you want to take that same buy entry, what happened right there? You would hit that for your full TP for 100 ticks, or even higher if you want to go for 130. Put that right there. Again, right here, buy signal. Price pushes up, entry right there. 158 ticks. Another buy entry right there. 177 ticks. So yeah, if you want to apply this on whatever asset you want to trade on, if you want to trade NQ, if you want to trade YM, like I'm trading, if you want to trade gold, GC, same thing here. There's an MPSB2 that came up right there, sell signal, retracement, confirmation. Gold full TP right there, 30 ticks. So yeah, it doesn't matter what you trade. I mean, the indicators and the strategies, they work on pretty much everything. I trade YM because that's just what I trade, but the tools and the indicators and the strategies, they work across the board. So nice work on this trade here, guys. If you caught it with me, full TP on that one. I'm gonna go and take the markets is back to normal. I'm glad it's back to normal. The entries are hitting pretty nice as long as you're looking for those good entries. I'm still taking a half contract size. Eventually I might increase it a little bit. But right now, I'm going to kind of leave it as is because I don't want to overextend myself, especially if the market starts to move, um, crazy again. I don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately. It would be nice if I could know, but. We really don't know if price is going to stay consistent like this. But these are normal market conditions. So as long as the market continues to move normal like this, then I think we should be good. All right. So let's look for another entry. Like I said, I'm taking half risk, so I can take more entries. All right. So here are my profits for that trade. So the trade that we just took right here, buy entry for the MPSB2. Here are my profits. I only took one trade for the day, locked in 1,110 across my Apex accounts per account, and then 9,000 or 900 for my Tradeify accounts, and then 900 for my take profit. So here are my profits so far. I'm almost back up from last week's losses. I didn't really lose too much last week. I mean, I lost a decent amount, but not a crazy amount. So we're back. Basically, if I took the full contract size, I would have been back from last week's losses because I only lost about like 4,000, I think, last week. Yeah, so I was down like 4,000 last week. So if I took the full contract size this week, I would have been back because this would have been double. But it's all good. It's just like I always try to remind you guys, it's all about consistency. Markets like last week could make or break a trader, right? And what I mean by that is like a lot of people, and I'm sure this has happened to you guys or whoever's been in here for a while. Once you get down to that drawdown point where you start to have like a little bit of a losing streak, you start to just your mindset just kind of your whole game plan goes out the window, and your mindset thinks, okay, I'm just gonna gamble now because you want to gamble your way back up into profit, right? If you stayed consistent this week and you didn't kind of like go crazy this week because of last week, then you would be back, you'd be making those losses back. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I basically just need to, so I can do two things. I can either go back to my normal contract size and then the next win will bring me back into profit for basically the month, or I can just stay where I'm at and then I can just take multiple entries. I think right now I'm probably just going to stay where I'm at right now because I don't know how the market's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow Powell's going to be speaking. So if you guys are not familiar with Jerome Powell, he's what a lot of people consider the money printer, right? He has a lot of good things to say about the market, but he also shakes up the market when he speaks because his whatever he says has a lot of weight in the market. So you can see over here we have high impact federal chair Jerome Powell speaking at 10:30. So he's speaking tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to shake up the market for a good thing or a bad thing. It's for sure going to cause volatility. So I mean, I'll just have to wait and see. I think I'll stick to the half contract size for now, and then I'll probably go back to my full contract size maybe next week if the market starts to move more consistent. All right, we have an MPSV2 that's setting up right here, but again, guys, it's right at the sessions. It's like literally at the sessions again, like the previous one. So it's not one that I would recommend taking. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys. Right there, the ATR is pretty high. It's currently at 46 right now. So I mean, you might want to use a bigger TP stop loss, like maybe 50-50. But I wouldn't take the trade here just specifically because it's at the sessions. Candles are starting to get pretty big too. Yeah, sure, no problem, Isaac. Um, yeah, you can watch the videos either from live sessions or you can go on the website. Just go down to to the description below. There's an access to like a free course there. Pretty much you'll have access to all the videos. So if you want to go on there and watch the videos, you can. All right, guys, so this trade right here is currently running in profit, almost at its TP. Depending on where your TP stop loss was, if you're using a 40-40, I think it would have hit already. Yeah, so the 40-40 would have hit already, and the 50-50 looks like it's on the way. Yeah, full TP right there. Those are red flags, so I wouldn't have taken this one. And I think the candle was also too big. Oh, Christian, you got the double on there. But did you hit, you took it though, right? Oh, you didn't hit it. Oh man. Yeah, so Christian has this weird thing that happens with his Ninja Trader. I mean, it hasn't happened to you in a while, Christian, but it happened to you today. It's weird. Christian, whenever he enters a position, it'll enter like double. So he went from like 3 contracts to 13. I've never seen it before happen, so it's kind of crazy to see it happen with Christian. Yeah, that's crazy, Christian, from 3 to 13. Yeah, Nick said, I think the same thing happened to him today. Super strange. Yeah, that's weird. So Nick's probably the only other person I've heard of that happened to, Christian. I don't know if you guys want to connect and talk about that, but yeah, Vapid said he placed only 1 trade, but then I'm assuming it. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, so Vapid said he won and he also lost, but he only placed 1 trade. Yeah, that is weird. It didn't happen to me, thankfully. I flattened out my position too, just in case. That Christian said, yeah, the thing is, it blew my freaking account. Oh yeah, 13 contracts is a lot, bro. I don't even take that much on my own. And you're on the smaller account. Damn, that's crazy. So you never figured out a solution for that, Christian? Well, I mean, it wasn't happening for a while, so I guess you didn't have to figure out a solution. But that's crazy that happened to you. Yeah, so what happened with what happened with Christian guys is he entered a position with like 3 contracts, but and he showed me a video of this too. It's like it's super crazy how it happens. He enters a position and then all of a sudden it just automatically enters another one. Um, I think you should probably just not use the ATM feature, Christian, because it seems like the ATM feature is what causes your causes that to happen. Because I've seen the video that you sent me. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't have the video over here. I don't have like my own video. But like what happens with Christian is he has like a couple different ATM features that are like set up. And when he enters one position, for some reason it like automatically goes to another ATM. So it enters twice. So he enters one and then it automatically enters a second time with with his other automatic TP stop loss. Yeah, no, he's already done that, Brock. He's made a bunch of complaints and stuff. For some reason, it just I don't know why, but it automatically triggers over like that. I think in the future, Christian, you might have to just do everything without the ATM. Because it seems like whenever you use custom ATMs, that's usually where it happens. And if you don't have any ATMs that are set up, then it can't shift over to another ATM like it does on yours. I mean, that sucks. Sorry to hear that, Christian. I know that's not what you wanted to see, of course. All right, guys. Anyways, back to the charts over here. There's nothing to take here, so you guys are not missing out on anything. We're just kind of trying to troubleshoot with Christian's account here, but it's I mean it's kind of too late at this point. Yeah, because taking a contract size that big with a big TP stop loss it's for sure gonna blow the account. I think Christian is on, are you on Tradify, Christian, or are you on, I think you're on Apex, right? It's not Apex though. It's not an Apex problem. It's a Ninja Trader platform. It's a platform problem that he's trading on. Yeah, so Christian was on Tradify. Yeah, the thing is, it is a platform problem, Christian, because Tradify is not executing the trade. It's the platform, that the actual Ninja Trader platform. I think what you might have to do is you might have to just trade on Tradeovate or on TradingView. The only problem is like you can't use a copier on that one. I mean, you could use a copier on Tradeovate, but you won't be able to use a copier on NinjaTrader unless you do it manually without the ATM. Yeah, these candles here are huge, guys. So I think this is a good time to maybe kind of wait a little bit for the market here to kind of slow down and slow down the movement here because this candle was huge. So this one over here was a 100-point candle, like Glenn mentioned. This one over here is a 71-point candle. This one down here is a 80-point candle. All right, so there's nothing to take here right now. I mean, technically there was an A plus plus setup, I think, right here, but it was right at the sessions, or not the sessions, right at the opening price. Let me go and mark up the direction of price here. So we had the buyers in control as price pushed up right here. We had the sellers in control right here. Buyers back in control from right here. Sellers back in control from up here. And what I'm looking for here next is I'm looking for the buyers to get back in control. So right here, price is coming down. We had an MPSV2 come up right here. Actually, this isn't the A plus plus setup because this is only the first engulfing. So we had MPS V2 engulfing. I mean, if you wanted to take that as an engulfing entry, you could have. Right there, the ATR is currently around like 50 right now. So there's a lot of setups that are coming up right here. It's just, trying to figure out what's a good one and what's not. Let's take a look over here real quick on the market profile. No rejections off the top end. Looking over here at the 30-minute, we do have a rejection right here off the value high. Here's the 1 hour time frame. We got the rejection right here off the value high as well. Looking over here on the 1 minute volume profile, we do have a rejection right here off the point of control. So rejection right here at the 40,782. Looking at the clean chart over here. So this whole number over here, we have a rejection off this whole area right here. It's the 40,850. We have some more rejections right here off the, or not yet, but possibly. So we do have some top rejections. What I'm basically looking for here is I'm looking for those top rejections. Just to justify this drop here, the drop further lower and lower. What I'm looking for though, personally, is I'm looking for price to swing back up. So I'm looking for price to kind of establish a floor down here and then maybe come back up a little higher. Nice work, Lila. So Lila over here just shared her profits. She locked in she locked in 1,092 for the day. So nice work, Lila, on following us on that position earlier. Great work right there. I know it's just, like you said, like Lila's doing the Simon Says deal here. She's just following what we look for. And then when we see a good entry, she follows in, she hops into it. So nice work right there, Lila, on catching that. Get that over here as well and seeing profits. Solid work today so far, guys. Solid work overall. Yeah, so here's the message that Christian got. I think what you might have to do is, yeah, like what I was mentioning, you might have to just not use the ATM, Christian. I mean, it's gonna suck because you're gonna have to like set up the TP stop loss manually, but I think that's the only way to prevent it from taking multiple trades. Unless you go on Tradeovate. So if you trade on the Tradeovate web platform, you can still use a copier there, but again, you'd have to set your TP stop loss up manually, which shouldn't be like a huge problem. It's just, if the volatility is super high, it might pose a problem because it might hit your TP faster than you can set it up. I know it's probably not what you want to do, but that might be your best option. All right, so we got a buy signal right here, guys. Price is currently at the session, or not, it's at the opening price. So price is currently sitting at opening price. Again, this is an area of manipulation, right? So let me kind of zoom out a little bit. You guys can see over here, this is an area of manipulation. You don't really like to trade around these areas here, right? See at opening price right here? Price kind of screws around this area, just kind of goes sideways. Same with this over here. When price gets up to the sessions, look how price kind of just dances around this area, right? Before it finally comes down. Same with the opening price. Price is right here. It's kind of just sitting at the opening price. It's just dancing around this area. The median area is going to be the opening price line. And then price just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. So, like we mentioned before, this is just an area that you want to avoid. There's an NPSV2 setting up right here. I don't know if anybody's looking to take that. I'll mark it up for you guys for those of you who are looking to take it. If this candle closes green, possible setup for NPSV2. Let's take a look at the confluences. Rejection off the point of control. Rejection off the point of control. I mean, sort of. Not on the current candle, but previously. 1 hour over here, rejection off the point of control. Nothing on the volume profile. Clean chart, nothing here off the clean chart. I don't see enough confluences here for a buy for me, so I don't think it'd be, I mean, I think it could be an okay entry, but it's not going to be considered good, of course. Another rejection right there. Let's go back. All right, so it's currently running right now. ATR is at 48, so I'd probably set that at 50-50. Not what I would take, guys. Again, mainly because it's at the opening price. I just marked it up here if you guys want to follow it. There just wasn't enough confluences here. I mean, there was a few. So we had one right here, rejection off the point of control. That's at the 1 minute time frame. There's an older rejection over here from the previous candle, not on the current one, but on the previous candle right there, off the point of control on the 30. 1 hour over here, there's a rejection off the point of control. Yeah, it just doesn't look like a good setup to me. Mainly the red flag, like Barack said over here. Barack said, skip it. But I do think price will push up because the overall trend here is still bullish. So we'll see. I mean, there's enough confluences there to take it. I mean, it's there's at least some sort of confluence here to push to ideally look at price to push up. But it's currently at the value high right here. Still hoping it hits though. Right, because we still want the trades to hit, even though they're at red flags. I still like them to hit, obviously, because we want the strategy to be viable. I do think it'll hit. It might take a while. The ATR is currently at 45, so it's starting to slow down a little bit. Let's just get that spike up right here. Okay, so there's actually another good confluence here too. So we have a buy signal right there. I'll say the buyers are in control from right here. Yeah, I think this is going to hit. So now that I'm looking at this here, we have some nice confluences right here with the V1 variation engulfing. Right. It's a good setup right there. I mean, this is I draw a channel right here. Nice push up right there. The only thing that I can, and this is what I'm talking about, V1 engulfing, V1 engulfing. So you have a lot of confluences here actually for price to push up. So you got those two right there. It's indicating that price is going to climb up from that point. And then, okay, so what I can see right here, what could be a good sign is if there's a small retracement, bounce off the value high, right? So what I'm looking at right here is a break and retest. So break, retest, push up higher off that 1 minute. There's nothing here on the 30 right now, but it's fine because the 1 hour here is pushing up. We got a nice push to the upside right there. Almost to its TP. We got that break and retest right there off the pivot as well. So again, right here, break, retest off the pivot. Like continue with the storyline, right? We want the storyline to continue here. So I'm still looking for it. I'm rooting for this to push up. I'm not in the position, but I'm doing as much analysis as I can here to give me some more confidence and to feel confident about this buy here. So, I mean, and it looks like price is in a big range, right? So look at this huge range right here. So I could probably see something like that happening. See if it continues to hold. If anything, maybe retest there we go. So here we go. We have another V1 here. So if this is a V1 engulfing, I think that'd be another good confluence for it to push up higher. So I'm looking at this entry right here, guys. This entry looks like it could have been an A++ setup. See, this is what I don't like when the volatility starts to get a little low, because the thing with this is that now you're in the position for too long. Like I think this would be too long to be holding on to the position. I maybe would have moved stop loss and profit or try to get out early. Yeah, like Barack said, I'd be careful if it retreats the bears right now. In this case, I would trail. I mean, I think this will keep climbing up. It's just, like I said earlier, this is kind of a tricky area to be trading in because of that red flag. So price is currently now below the parallels. It's below the channels. Yeah, CJ said if I did take that, I would have gotten out at 30 points. Yeah, I probably would have shot for 30 points too, because this, at this point it's running for a while. I would probably get out. I'd move my stop loss and profit, or I would get out like now or at 30. Let's see where the 30's at. Yeah, 30 is like right there. So it's at the 30 mark. So the 30 is good. So this is what I mean about like, you have to kind of adapt to like whatever the market's giving you. So like, for example, if you're doing a 30-30 here, I think this would be solid, right? Our average or our normal 30-30 would work here because this would have hit within the first 3 candles. The only problem is that like when the volatility starts to die down like it is right now, it's currently at 43. I maybe go for 40. I think the 50 might be it's a it's a long shot because the volatility here is not high enough to reach that 50 points. I think the 30-30 here would have been good. Yeah, because that 30-30 would have hit right there. All right, well, anyways, there was a lot of opportunities there to exit. Okay, cool. So Tarek over there got out of break even. It's good that you got out of break even, Tarek, because I think at this point you've been holding on to the position for way too long, bro. Yeah, this, we talked about this before. I always talk about this with people. Like I just talked about this with Ben yesterday during the mentoring session. Like he asked me, like, when do you start to like think to pull your position? And usually once you get to that 5 to 10 minute mark, it's been like it's just running for too long. There's no direction here, right? Like you want it to be directional. You don't want it to be going sideways like it's moving right here because it looks like it's just ranging between the opening price, really. It's kind of just ranging around the opening price. The thing is, this trade would have been running for how many minutes? Yeah. See, the 5 minute mark would have happened right here. And this is where I would have been like, all right, it's time to pull, or it's time to make my TP smaller, or time to move my stop loss and profit. Because that 5 minute mark, once you get past that 5 minute mark, this is no longer a scalp anymore. Like this turns into a day trade because if you get past that 5 minutes, you're probably gonna be holding on to it for like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, it's just gonna be one of those trades that goes on for too long. But yeah, it looks like the 30-30 here would have been ideal. Yeah, but of course, the 30-30 looks good from hindsight, right? Because it's already happened. So you're like, oh yeah, at this point, 30-30 would have been cool. But at the time of entry, let's just go back to what the ATR was at that time. See, ATR was at 50, so the 50 did look good at that very moment. But here, let me change the ATR to 7 points. Let me just see if it was any different. Nah, it would have been even more. It'd have been at 51. 14's cool. Leave it as is. All right, so let's see. We have a possible sell here now coming up. Let me go and take a look at the confluences again. All right, so we got some confluences over here on the 1 minute. We have rejection over here off the point of control, or sorry, not point of control, the value high. So rejection right there off the value high. 30-minute rejection off the value high. We got nothing over here on the 1 hour. We got a rejection right here off the value high point of control on the volume profile. We have a rejection right here off the 40,800 price point. We have a rejection right here off the resistance. So we got some pretty nice confluences here for a sell. Sell here might look pretty good as long as we don't get too crazy. ATR is currently at 44 right now. It's gonna be a little tricky if we go to that 50 range. Let's see, Sam said he got it for 30. I'm happy. Nice work, Sam. So it looks like a lot of people here actually caught it for 30 points. Sorry, your trade that you were looking at. It's tricky though. I would have gone for the 50, bro. I would have done the same thing you would have done. Like I said, it's just after the fact. It's like, all right, the volatility died down. Maybe that would have been better with the lower TP stop loss. All right, so this one's a little tricky, guys. There's a rejection right here because it's touching the sessions. I don't know about this entry right here. If you guys want to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys. It's like right at the sessions, or not sessions, at the opening price. Actually, there's no entry there. Yeah, Tarek said, not worried about it. On to the next. Break even better than the loss. Yeah, 100%. I mean, the good thing is like you were smart about it and you moved your stop loss in profit because if you didn't, or moved in to break even, if you didn't, you would have hit the stop loss, right? So smart move there. You just got to improvise sometimes. All right, so no entry there for a sell. Price never closed below the momentum. We have a pending buy signal here. Let's see what we got going on here. So we have a pending buy signal here. All right, let me take a look at the confluences for a buy. Looking at this here, we have a rejection off the point of control on the 1 minute. We have a rejection off the point of control on the 30-minute. We have a rejection off the point of control on the 1 hour. We have a rejection off the whole number down here, 40,750. We have a rejection right here off the support. All right, so the buys here are actually looking really good. The only problem here again is that we're going to be at the sessions, guys. So this is going to be something that we have to pay attention to and we have to be aware of. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an entry here for me to want to take because if we get a buy signal here, like I would need this to really climb above here and provide opportunity for entry up here. Yeah, Barack said I used to be a hater of trailing. This is new me. This new me has been taught by the markets to stop being comfortable with the edge. Anything can happen, preserve capital. Yeah, 100%, Barack. Same with me. I don't usually like to move my stop loss and profit. I like to just let the trade run. But in this type of market that we're currently in right now, you got to be smart about the trades, right? you can't just hope and pray it's going to hit. I mean, obviously, we're going to ideally want trades to hit at a certain extent, but like the market's unforgiving. It's going to do what it wants to, and it's going to change when it wants to as well. Like for example, look at this candle. These candles are kind of they pop up out of nowhere. There's like these small candles, and then we have this big one over here, 67-point candle. Christian said, "Have a good day, guys. This kind of screws me up, so I need some air." All right, Christian. Hopefully, I mean, I'd like to say hopefully it gets sorted out, but unfortunately, you've already tried to sort it out. I think the only thing you can do is like just not use the ATM. But all right, Christian, we'll see you later. If you need to hit me up, feel free to message me on Instagram as usual. Yeah, unfortunately, it happened to your account today. All right, guys. So there's no other opportunities here right now. We have a possible NPSB2 that's starting to set up. So we have a buy signal here. We have price pushing up. Let me go and see if there's any confluences for a buy. We still have the same confluence from down here. We have another confluence actually right here too. Rejection off the value high. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, still same rejection. 1 hour, same rejection right there. Point of control. Nothing off the volume profile. Nothing right here. Or there's one that happened, and then price, of course, rejecting off the support right there. Resistance turn support for the break and retest. All right, so this is basically a break and retest of liquidity right there. It's looking like. Could possibly set up for an NPSB2, but it's right at the sessions. Nice. Sam took the break and retest the full TP. So Sam over here likes to trade liquidity. Oh shit, look at this huge candle. All right. I think this might be time for me to wrap it up soon. I don't know what's going on here. Damn, that candle came up out of nowhere. Once it's like in a second, it dropped about 200 points. All right, it's time to check the news. What's going on? I don't see any breaking news. I don't know what's causing that huge spike. I mean, something's obviously happening. Like the candles don't drop 200 points out of nowhere for no reason. Sam said LOL got out in time. I'm not really okay. So let's see. Foxconn set the amount for iPhones that month. Okay, so this is the breaking news right now. It says Apple imported iPhones worth nearly 2 billion from India to US ahead of Trump tariffs. Foxconn sent the highest amount ever of iPhones in a month from India. Uh yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, obviously this affects the economy, but there's not really much there for me to work with. That's the only breaking news that came out right now. Yeah, I don't know. This is the only thing that came out. Like it literally came out like when that spike happened, or before the spike happened. This was at 7:43 today, and the spike happened over here at 7:46. So I don't know if that's why this bullish push came up, because that's where the news came out at 7:43. I don't really see anything else here. There's nobody speaking right now. CNBC has not reported anything. There's no breaking news. Let's see. So HP Enterprise shares jump after Elliott takes stake. I mean, HP is not even part of, they're not part of the Dow. So I wouldn't expect that to cause a spike. Yeah, there's not really much else here. I mean, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's just one of those just kind of random candles that came up out of nowhere. So the thing that's kind of unusual about that is that there was no orders that really like, let me see, this came up at 7:46. I'm gonna check the time in sales to see if there is, I mean, I don't see anything here. I don't see any big sell block orders. Basically, it was a dark pool order. Plus price to drop like that. Okay, well, doesn't matter. There's no entry here anyways. So we were looking for the buy to come up right here. Price pushed up. We had the retracement. Price never came back up. So there's no entry here for buy. We now have a sell signal that's currently pending. So this might be setting up for a possible sell entry for MPSV2. But even in a situation like that, probably not going to probably not going to be able to take this because it's going to be right at the opening price like earlier. Sam said earnings. Probably, I don't think there was earnings today. I know there's earnings earlier this week with JP Morgan and stuff. And that's what caused the market to kind of go up. But yeah, it's okay. I mean, if I see anything, I'll let you guys know. I just don't see anything here. This is all breaking news that's happened right now. China halts rare earth exports globally, impacting US. I mean, I guess this could affect, but Iran's supreme leader comments on nuclear talks. Space agency proposes major budget increase for military-grade satellite. Yeah, I mean, nothing here really. This was a breaking news from this morning. So, like, basically, this morning they announced that, China is going to halt rare earth exports globally, which, I mean, it was a given that was going to happen, right? China's kind of against everybody right now with the trade war going on. I think China's kind of it's kind of like everybody against China right now. Like, basically, Trump kind of set it up in a sense that Trump is basically turning everybody against China. That's literally what's happening with these tariffs because now Trump's kind of dropped the tariffs against everyone else, and he's like, no, we're only going for China now. So we'll see. Yeah, Barack said maybe Trump almost tweeted. I forget what's Trump's social media platform. Let me look that up again because that's where he tweet. He doesn't really tweet anymore. He goes on his social media platform. Truth, that's what it's called. Truth Social. All right, there's no sell entry here, guys. We have a sell signal and then nothing to follow up on that. Am I gotta create an account? Does anyone use Trump? The Truth app? I don't want to sign up for one and then it's like shitty or they steal my info. It doesn't matter. Our info is gonna get stolen anyways. Yeah, I can't sign up. Hmm. No, I'm not gonna sign up for it. Yeah, I'm not gonna sign for the truth app. I'll do some research on it first. I'm curious. Let's see, Craig is asking, anyone else having audio issues watching on YouTube? Keeps cutting out. Um, Not sure. Is everything okay, Glenn, Sam? I mean, the main guys over here on the YouTube stream. All right, there's a possible, no, actually, there's no entry here. So we have a buy signal right here. We're looking for the retracement. Again, this is not a good area to be trading in right here down the middle, guys. I think I might be wrapping it up pretty soon because looking at where price is currently at, I don't think there's going to be any opportunities for entry here. So let's see. I'm going to just set up a fictitious TP stop loss. So the ATR is currently at 52. So I'd probably use about a 50. Looking at this over here, you might want to just refresh it, Craig. Maybe if you refresh your YouTube, it'll fix it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Rev over there said, yeah, refresh it, reset it. So maybe just hit the refresh button on your stream and then that'll probably fix it. But anyways, looking at this right here, guys. So if we get an entry for a buy here for MPSV2, it's going to be an issue because we have to cut through the sessions right here, right? And then vice versa, if we get an entry for a sell here for MPSV2, it's also going to be trouble because we would have to cut through the opening price down here, right? So I think either way, it's not going to be a good time or a good area to be looking for entries anyways. So I think I might be wrapping this up pretty soon, guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. I just don't think there's going to be any entries coming up here between 7:55 and 8 o'clock. There are about 5 minutes until then. So looking at the entries for today, guys, today's actually a really good trading day. If you guys look at the charts and what has come up, we have yeah, looking over here, we had a full TP for the breakout. So the breakout hit full TP for 50 points. And then we had about 1, 2, 3, 4 entries that came up over here for full TP as well on the MPSV2. So about 5 entries in total for today, all wins. I'm still taking half risk. So here are my profits for the day so far. Ideally, of course, I would like to make more, but I'm happy with what I locked in right here so far. So in total, pretty decent. Here, let's see. Let me see if I can update my calendar. So here are my stats so far for the month or for the week. I'm currently at 29. Let me see if I can update it over here real quick. Add some trades in here. All right, I'm just updating my trader soon. Yeah, no problem, Sam. Sam said, no problem with the voice on YouTube. Typical, just 1 to 2 minute delay. Yeah, that's normal for the YouTube. So like there should be a delay, but the audio should be clear for the most part. I know sometimes YouTube has like updates and stuff like that, so like the stream's kind of skittish, but for the most part, it should be okay. All right, I am updating my my trade calendar right now, my trade journal. So once this is done updating, I will show you guys where I'm currently at for the week. I'm clawing my way back out of this hole, guys. I'm not that bad. I just need 1 more win or 2 more wins, and I'll be back out of this hole from last week's losses. So slowly making my way back up. And that's just kind of how you got to do it. All right, there's no entries here. So there was an MPSV2 that came up here, guys, but it was like literally at the session. So I obviously not one I would take there. And you can see exactly where it bounced off of, directly off that purple line right there. I'm still curious what happened with that news earlier. I mean, nothing's happened, so. Okay, so this is what happened about 6 minutes ago. It says Trump is shredding credibility with allies while China benefits. Makes sense. All right. And I accidentally double clicked the trade journal, so it's taking twice as long to finish updating. I gotta log into my other accounts on here. See what it looks like on my phone or whatever. Yeah, today was actually pretty good. So, all right, we have another sell signal here currently pending. Again, it's going to be trouble because you can see here price is currently ranging between these two lines over here. Currently ranging between the sessions and the opening price. Buy. And then just one more account here from my take profit. Next one. Man, Purdy hasn't gotten to me. So I have an issue with my Purdy account, guys, because like I said, I have to get my license for the Series 3. So like Ninja Trader's not letting me get any more live accounts, which I mean sucks, but it's more pressure at me for me there to to continue grinding it. So it's all good. All right, guys, here are my stats for the month so far. So let me just drag this over real quick. Okay, so last week I took like half amount of the trade. So my loss last week was about 78. My profits for the day was 27,030. Total profit for the week, 56,430. I'm still in a net loss right now for April, but it's okay. It's a small loss. I just need to have a couple more wins here, maybe one or two wins. Looking over here, these are my stats for the year so far. So currently I'm still up pretty decent for the year. This is year to date. And the gross is 387,960 for the year. My net's at 328, so I'm still doing pretty good for the year overall. You guys can see my little slump here. I want to be completely transparent with you guys because the thing is, like, you have to understand that there's going to be downtrends in the market. So, like, obviously, from January 1st up until April 15th, this is my or my gross profit. You can see how my stats here kind of go up a little bit, and then it comes down a little bit, and then it goes up a little bit, comes down a little bit. There's always going to be these little pockets of bad market, right? So for example, here, I did good from January 1st until the 15th. I had maybe a couple losses here, and then I came right back up, right? And then from January 28th, I had a loss, and I came right back up. Another loss right here, came all the way back up. Small loss, back up, small loss, back up, small loss, back up, a couple losses right here, back up. And then we had this little stint over here last week because of the crazy market conditions. So, I kind of went downhill for a second, maybe for like 1, 2, 3 days, and then I'm back up right here. So once I get to this point right here, if I have one more win or two more wins, I'll be back to where I was last week. And then basically recoup the losses that I made from the previous, from the previous week. So I just want to show you guys, like, the numbers here, my main goal is really to have these green days, right? The red days are, they happen. It's just part of the game. But the green days are really what the main focus is. So hopefully we'll have another 2 or 3 more green days and I'll be back into net profit for the month. And then we'll just continue on with what we got going on from here. But I think that's about it, guys. Let's see. So CJ's asking, hey, Sean, are you using 4 contracts? So I was using 4 contracts yesterday because we had a 60 TP stop loss. For today, we used a 40 TP stop loss. So I used 6 contracts. So it's just a slight adjustment. And also just another reminder, guys, if you guys want to open a Apex account, there's a promo going on right now. It's currently 80% off evals There's special pricing for the 150K to 300K accounts, and then also lifetime PA as well. So if you guys want to do that, just go over here to the announcements. There's a link right here. If you use this special code, this is the admin code, so you'll get the highest discount if you use this code right here. Just make sure you use the proper code, because if you don't, you'll get you're not going to get all of the discounts. You're gonna get maybe a portion of them. And I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I think we're good for the day. 5 wins today. 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 scalps, and then the breakout also full TP over here for 50 points. So great day so far, and hopefully a great week ahead of us. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live.